Guys. Okay, so the game that we're going to play is a game called Traffic Lights. As said earlier, you won't be able to do this indoors. You will have to go outdoors to do this. Ideally an area, as we've done in previous weeks, 8 by 8 will be okay, 10 by 10 if you can, or even bigger. But as long as you've got 8 by 8, that should be enough. The idea behind the game is for players to be running around and become very aware of what's going on. So what you will need is I know you won't have cones, but you will need something red, something green, something yellow, blue and white. Okay, so how does it work? So basically you'll ask the players to run around until they see you lift one of the traffic lights. Now if you lift the red, then the red will basically mean that they need to do their toe taps. So they need to stop the ball quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah? So the first player to do their 10 toe taps will get an additional point. So I'll get a point for doing the toe taps, number 1. If the first player to actually finish their toe taps will get an additional point. Okay, so then if you then raise your green, what we're now asking the players to do is to play the ball side to side. So we'll ask them to do 10 of these, and again, same thing. First player, if you do start doing them, you get a point anyway, and by completing them you get a point. But for the player that actually completes them first, they get an additional point. Okay, so then we move on to yellow. If they see you raise the yellow, then what we want to do is we want to do the soul rolls. Okay, so again, side to side, and I'd say do 5 of these. 5 of these, same scoring system, point each, point to the extra for the player that finishes first. We move on to the blue. We raise the blue. What we then do is we're asking them to do a V push. They will need to stop the ball, pull the ball back and push out in a separate direction. Again, the first player to do that will get the additional point. And then lastly, we have the white, which is the step over. Okay, so first person to do the step over, first player to do the step over will then get the additional point. You can obviously go around. What I would suggest that you do is you don't do all 5 at the beginning. You start off by just doing the red to start off with, then adding a couple more, just so that the players get used to it, because if you do all 5 in one go, they won't remember. But if you build up to it, so I'd suggest start with 2, then 3, and then obviously add the last couple, and then you can have a proper game. Hopefully that will keep you going for a good half an hour or so. Good fun for the kids. Here's something else for you, a challenge from my very good friend Amber. The head, shoulder, knee and toe challenge. Here it is. The head, shoulder, knee and toe challenge is definitely not an easy one, and definitely not for indoors, by the way, because I've tried it and it's not good. So if you're going to try that one, then definitely do it outdoors. If you're having a bit of a struggle with it, maybe something you can do indoors is the last part, is the knee and the toe. Okay, so what you can do is just basically, when you're talking about doing it off the knee, you'll say the knee, but actually it's the thigh. You want it to come off the thigh. So off the thigh, like so. Really important that our foot is not pointing like that when we hit the ball, because we want it coming back this way. So make sure that your foot is pointing back towards you, otherwise the ball could go anywhere, like so. Anyway guys, that's what we've done for this week. Hopefully you'll have a good week, and what would be great is if we've got some feedback. I don't know how many people are actually watching the videos, whether people are actually acting on the videos, so any kind of feedback would be great. Any videos that you've got of yourself actually doing the exercise, or your kids playing, if you could share that, that would be wonderful as well. Anyway, have a great week. I'll see you soon.